Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's Fallout Friday. So we're at Egret Tours Marina today, and I'm going to start work turning this place into a river patrol station for the Minutemen. So as always, if you like what you see, do hit that big red button, and let's get stuck in. So the idea here is sort of related to the prison I did a while back, in that the long-term goal for the sole survivor, at least as general of the Minutemen, would be to create kind of independent nation in the Commonwealth, with the Minutemen as a kind of army police force type thing. So there's one thing that won't change no matter what you do, is that the glowing sea is always going to be there, and the other side of the river is going to be one of the more dangerous parts of the Commonwealth. The idea is that they'll want to patrol the river, especially as most of the settlements are on this side. So on down the line they're going to repair the boats up and use this as a patrol station. And when you're positioning the boats in, Select All does it nice and easily, and it helps a lot to just get it into the right general place and then move it across so it goes red, because you can at least see where the water line is, which when it's green is damn near impossible. Had a bit of trouble with the tyres on the side of the boats and the quay here, as they keep bashing into each other. We get there in the end. You can see it's full of water if it's that low down. Move it up. You also see where the outline of the hull starts to curve in, which also makes a good guide for where you want it in relation to the water line, along with the top of the quay as well. There we go. Nice and neat. So there's a couple of rowing boats kicking around, which I may take out altogether. I haven't quite decided yet, but I definitely wanted at least one on the water for them. So as the rowing boat, however, is much smaller, I've had to use 2 concrete pillars, and as I discovered later on, the ground underneath the water is actually not even close to level, so it's a bit of a faff. But success. So most of this is actually decorations, so I've not shown too much of it, which is why the video is so short today. There's a few bits and pieces worth having a look at. This garage door is obviously an Unlock Settlement Objects item, and is very practical and forgiving, because it just slides straight in there without any need for glitching. A little bit of faff to line it up. It doesn't quite fit. I did originally try the powered garage door from Contraptions, it's in the warehouse tab, but it's way too big, it just sticks through the roof, so we went with this one. And a little bit of tweaking to get it lined up. As I say, it doesn't quite fit, but if you get it pretty much centred, then you can't really tell there's daylight shining around it, unless you look very closely. See? At a glance it's pretty much fine. Thing to be aware of when you're using these, same with the one I was looking at just before, they do have a habit of disappearing into the building you're putting it on, so make sure you can get at it to close the door once you've opened it. As I did find out the hard way once. We'll shift that back into position, it should be about right now. So this is going to be a workshop, and I figure they're going to be working on repairing the boats and whatever else here. So there we go, we've got that one over on the right that's a work in progress, and the one on the left that will be completed. I'm going to turn this into a kind of radio station, sort of control station for the shipping patrols. As I said, with the boats that I put near Spectacle Island, I figure there are people in the Commonwealth that are probably capable of repairing them, so... Slight drawback to trying to put stuff up here is the roof is in no way solid, so no matter what you try to put up here, it just won't work. So, concrete pillars and a bit of conduit to position it over, if you get the height right, which took a bit of fiddling. Still a little bit high, but you can't really tell when I'm done, so... By positioning these floor pieces on top, it provides a solid base, and then you just put on whatever you need to. And most of the stuff is Unlock Settlement Objects, so the radar dish from the main quest line, or a copy of it anyway. It serves very well for radio antenna. There is actually a radio tower in there, but it's absolutely huge and easily positioned on the ground, so I decided not to go with that one. There we go. And don't try jumping up here like I did, because it just immediately tries to attach a wire instead, so you need to use a ladder. Which took me a really ridiculous amount of time to figure out. So, once we move inside here, you can drop anything down you like, but if you need to glitch it, which you will do with things like this, because they just don't sit that close to the wall, we encounter a slight problem, namely that the rug goes underneath the floor. And it's a bit of a problem right the way across this place. Which, as much as I love Egret Tours, glitching here is a right pain in the neck. There's very few genuinely flat surfaces. Elevation changes in a very short space of time. Not by very much at times, but like here, you can see, it just doesn't want to play ball with the rug, so it did drive me a little batty, but we got there in the end. There we go. The other thing to note in here is that once you've got it in, you can't grab hold of the rug to move it again if you haven't got it right first time, because it's under the floor. But we get there. Eventually. So after this we'll just use a wire glitch to connect it up, because this lights up, which I very much like. So click the wire up, look at the item you want the wire to run from, select the wire. Don't try and jump. Run around, bing, straight through the floor. Simple as that. And that's basically all the interesting parts of the build. Everything else is just placing furniture really, so it's dead simple. So, obviously this is a work in progress, but we'll have a look round at least the quayside part of it. So I quite like the look of the place with the flags and everything. And when I get it done I think it's going to come together quite nicely. So I've put some weapons and armour on what is intended to be the functional boat. A couple of miniguns, missile launcher and some ammo. I've rug glitched that generator in there because there's not really any signs of an engine of any description, and that was the best I could come up with. For now at least. There's actually an engine in there, but it's tiny and useless. Couldn't resist putting cannons on a boat. I figured they must have dragged them down from the USS Constitution or something, but you know, had to be done. Especially as you can use a broadsider, so there's cannonballs out there. I did try putting a bulkhead on here, but funnily enough it doesn't actually fit, so I went with this door instead. Most annoyingly, I have no way of putting a method of steering the boat in there. It looks fine from the outside, it's just a little ridiculous when you open the door. But you know, we'll make do, it looks good. So this is the beginnings of our communication hub. And it needs a little bit of decoration, but you get the general idea of where it will go anyway. So we'll be continuing on with this before too long. Little flag on the rowing boat. We'll take a look across the other side. So yeah, this boat on the left I figure is floating, but still a work in progress. So they've only got the one functional one for now. I've put little bollards, which are the same as the ones in Starlight Drive-In, but less annoying, on the quayside just to kind of tidy it up a little bit, and give them something to tie the boats off to. The larger ones that are available in the mod are just not really suitable for it. So, general workstation, fairly cluttered. I figure the power armor station was probably originally intended for things like repairing engines and lifting them up and stuff, rather than actual power armor, given how many of them are just scattered around the Commonwealth. So that's in there. That weird slash of light, by the way, is just where I deleted a hanging light, and unfortunately the light stayed, which I should have thought of first and didn't. And there we go. So that's the quayside and the beginning of the job anyway. I think I had intended to put a boat in here, but it just won't fit. Yeah, so I think I'll possibly turn this into an armory or something to that effect. Possibly some office space as well. And put the CO's office up on the top floor. And over on this side we have Phyllis's bar house thing. And I think I'll turn that into a barracks and rec room. Unfortunately that front building can't be used, which is a bit annoying, but there we go. So, that's the beginning anyway. Hope you enjoyed. As always, follow me on Twitter and Facebook at /DarthZionGames. And do hit those wonderful buttons, and I'll speak to you soon.